Hey everyone, what's going on? I know it's been a while since I've posted a video, but welcome back to the last podcast you'd want. YouTube page show thing, bob. I'm still figuring that out. Steve here. I just wanted to give you 5 films today. I went and grabbed 5 random ones off the rack. I kind of looked, I kind of didn't. So let's get right into it. I'm going to have a little fun here. We're going to start with the 80s, we're going to end with the 80s, and we're going to hit you a little bit of the 2000s in between that. So, starting off, 1988. We got 1 hour and 42 minutes running time. We got the cast of Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, Charlie Sheen, Dermot Mulroney. Young Guns. We are talking about Young Guns. Now, this is about Billy the Kid and the crew that he ran with back in 1878. It's a fun film. It takes place in the West. If you know Regulators by Warren G., then you know about Young Guns because that's what it starts with. I love this film. I remember this film from my childhood. I think it's a lot of fun. They made a sequel. I think the sequel is just as good as the original. A lot of films, some of them don't hold up. I think this one, both of them, great films. We're not going to talk Young Guns 2, though, today. Just going to talk about Young Guns. We're not even really talking about it. I'm just recommending it. Because that's what we're doing. We're just recommending films for you to check out. Films from my personal collection that I like. And this way I get to cover DVDs from the VHSs that I normally cover in my Instagram. Speaking of which, do you know I have an Instagram? The last podcast you'd want. Just one long word on Instagram. And there I put up a VHS. I try and put up a VHS every day. Sometimes I go a couple days in between without it. But, what are you going to do? From 1988, we're going to go straight into 2007 with a film of 1 hour and 23 minutes. It's an amazing cast. It's based on a TV show. It's got all of the cast from the TV show coming. We were talking about Reno 911, the movie. Well, Reno 911 Miami, the movie. If you don't know Reno 911, it is on Comedy Central. I believe it's on their on-demand service. It is an entirely improvised TV show. Now, as far as the movie goes, I don't know if that was entirely improvised. I hope it is. It's hilarious. It's got a great cast in it. A lot of the people from the TV show, the minor characters, jump over into the movie. The Rock makes a cameo. Paul Reubens makes a cameo. I want to say Paul Rudd makes a cameo. There are a ton of people in that film. I love it. I saw it several times in the theater. I worked at a movie theater, so I didn't pay for it. But if you love Reno 911, the TV show, and you have not seen Reno 911 Miami, the movie, I highly recommend checking out Reno 911 Miami, the movie. It's great. They go down to a police convention in Miami, obviously, and hijinks ensue from there. And what more can I say? If you love it, you'll love it. If you don't like Reno 911 the show, or if you've never seen Reno 911 the show, if you don't like it, you're not going to like the movie. If you've never seen the show, take the time to check it out. It's super funny. Thomas Lennon, everyone should know Thomas Lennon. If you don't know it, what are you doing? Fun fact, Thomas Lennon and the guy that plays Junior in this film, I'll look up his name real fast. I should have written it down. I know it though. Robert Ben Grant. They wrote and starred in the second Night of the Museum film, Smithsonian. They play the Wright brothers. So that's a fun little fact. And that's him. That's Junior. And look there, Dangle, right above him. Junior and Dangle. That's Carlos Alazorcai. And for those of you that don't know, he is the voice of the Chihuahua from the Taco Bell commercials. And he's also Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life. And if you haven't seen on Netflix the new Rocco's Modern Life film they made specifically for Netflix for Rocco, oh my gosh, check it out. It's so good. If you liked Rocco's Modern Life as a young adult or a child, you'll love the new one. I did. With that, we're going to move into the world of Nazi Germany and World War II, 2009, with a running time of 2 hours and 33 minutes. Brad Pitt, Christoph Waltz, Michael Fassbender, Eli Roth, Diane Kruger, Sam Levine, Inglourious Bastards. Quentin Tarantino is a director that I really like the works of. He makes a rather long film, but this is the only film that we're going to hit that hits over the 2 hour mark. Everything other than that is under 2 hours. As I said, 2 hours and 33 minutes, so it's a little bit of a watch, but I enjoy it. It's Quentin Tarantino's take on Nazi-occupied Germany towards the end with Adolf Hitler and what he feels should have happened, and lots of action, lots of drama, lots of humor. If you like Quentin Tarantino, you're going to love this film. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking out Inglourious Bastards. Once again, Inglourious Bastards, check it out. With that, we're going to move on to 2006. It's a film that has a running time of 1 hour and 33 minutes. I was fortunate enough that in the summer of 2005 or 2006, whenever it was, I was at Comic-Con, and they did a full concert. Everyone with the exception of the main star and Jonah Hill showed up, accepted. 2006, Justin Long, Blake Lively, Jonah Hill, Lewis Black, a bunch of other people. But the band, The Ringers, they are the band that's in the movie. That's the army guy that joins, that has the weird thing for freaking out with his brain. I remember bits about the movie. If you haven't seen it, once again, came out in 2006. It's one of the first films where Justin Long had a leading role. His first film was either Galaxy Quest or Jeepers Creepers. I don't know which one. Jonah Hill, everyone knows Fat Jonah Hill or Skinny Jonah Hill, whichever it may be. Those are the biggest ones. I mean, Blake Lively, Miss Ryan Reynolds. Yep. Lewis Black, he's a funny guy. The other people have been in stuff. I didn't write their names down, though, because I didn't remember or want to. But Except is really funny. We got a chance to see a sneak peek of it with that concert that they had at Comic-Con. I loved it then. I love it now. It's a story about a kid that basically gets rejected from every college. So he just creates his own college to fool his parents and accidentally makes the accept button real. And hilarity ensues from there. Accepted. For those of you that don't want to go to college but want the humor, I highly recommend checking it out. I love it. And as I stated, we were starting in the 80s with 1988. We're ending in the 80s with 1987. A running time of 1 hour and 37 minutes. Funny enough, Kiefer Sutherland, Jason Patric, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Diane Wiest, Alex Winters, Jameson Newlander, The Lost Boys, 1987. I remember this film as a child, scared the shit out of me. But I love it. If you don't know, it's a vampire movie. It's a movie about a mother and her 2 sons that have to move in with the grandpa. And they move to a town that just doesn't have a lot going on, but has a high missing person rate. If you don't know The Lost Boys, where have you been living? Or how old are you? Why are you watching my page? Thank you for watching my page. I appreciate it. But that's 1987, The Lost Boys. I love it. The second shelf is mine. I keep it for my Dr. Pepper and my Oreos. I like them cold. It's from Lost Boys. That's the grandpa. He's a funny guy. He was in Sister Act 2 back in The Habit. It wasn't until years later that I realized that What a Nun Wears is called a habit. And it's a double entendre of Back in the Habit and Back in the Habit. Never mind. You'll get it if you get it. Once more, though, ladies and gentlemen, just to go over the films that we have talked about today. And thank you for joining me here today on the Last Podcast You Want YouTube page. It's been a heck of a lot of fun, but we got to come to an end at some point. Young Guns. Check it out. I love it. All films I love. I'm going to say I love it. Reno 911, Miami, the movie. I love it. Inglourious Bastards. I almost lost it. That would have been hilarious. Oh my God. Inglourious Bastards. I love it. Longest film. I put it in the middle because it's the longest film. 2 hours and 33 minutes. My goodness. Accepted. Accept it. It's great. I love it. Justin Long. And The Lost Boys. The saxophone. The saxophone. I still believe. If you know, you know. If not, watch it. I still believe. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of The Last Podcast You'd Want YouTube page show thingamabob. Tip the veal. Try the staff. I'll see you next time.